All right, today is Friday, June 2nd, or 2nd of June, where I'm from. And very important day outside of wedding anniversaries, birthdays, Christmas. It is National Rocky Road Day. And Rocky Road happens to be one of my favourite chocolates. And I'm not really one to buy it from the shop or from the store. I kind of like to make it myself. So why do I make it myself? Number one, a lot of the ones that you buy from the store, from the shop, use certain nuts that I'm actually allergic to. And part of me enjoys making the Rocky Road and putting the ingredients in. I put raisins in instead of cherries and gluten-free biscuit instead of regular. So I end up with something that's exactly how I want it to be. So far, so good. So the point is, I get something that I want. I know exactly what's in it. It may have cost me slightly more initially, but I get a batch of chocolate that'll see me through the next 2 or 3 weeks, or possibly days, depending on how things go. But essentially, I've got something that I want the way I want it. It took me a bit of time, but I'm happy with the outcome. And that's what brings us on to really the core of this video, which is about this triangle of value, which is time, cost, and quality. I realised as I was editing this video that I didn't get into the segue properly between Rocky Road and really what I want to get to, which is security and applications. So this next part of the video is all about this value triangle and how security is often getting left by the wayside when it comes to implementing applications because, well, you'll see, but it's a tenuous link between Rocky Road and security, but we'll get there, I promise. So this value triangle relies on 3 key points: the price or the cost of doing something, the time or speed that it takes to complete, and quality. Now, typically, if something is priced low or it costs low, it's a low-cost project or a low-cost product, and if the time it takes to complete that project or complete that product is quick, or the time it takes is very low, then typically we might expect the quality to be not that great. On the inverse, if the price is high and it takes a longer time to complete that project, we should expect the quality to be high. And it's this equation we want to use with security. So in the context of security, in the context of implementing applications like ERP, HCM, CRM, and all these other industry vertical applications, the point is that are we really seeing good? Are we seeing good quality when we're trying to get things done quickly and at a lower price? And that remains the big question, because for a lot of organizations, for a lot of customers that we're working with, that is not the case. Quick And cheap does not equal good security. And therein lies the problem, because now organisations have to decide once they're live, do they re-implement security because it's so terrible? Do they kind of try and remix it a bit with some customization? That's the tricky choice. And for some companies, they just don't realise how bad things are until they've implemented that application. And trust me, those delivered security roles and configurations are full of all sorts of segregation of duty problems, sensitive access issues. They're overly provisioned rather than least privilege. You know, we want a role to only do what it should be doing, not basically everything related to, say, accounts payable, for example, or accounts receivable. We want to keep things simple. We want to keep things direct. We want to keep things assured that we know exactly what users can do when we start assigning security to them. And that's just not the case with what is delivered. The outcome is, through the work that we continue to do, roughly 1 in 4 users in your enterprise applications have one or more segregation of duty issue. And over 90% of all users have some kind of access to sensitive information, to sensitive processes within the enterprise. So the question you've got to ask yourself is that acceptable? Is it acceptable to have users with all this access in a day and age where we're trying to get to least privilege, zero trust, all these other buzzwords, and yet our applications are full of just too much access?